Welcome children to a social studies class. This is for 5th standard, and we had last class we had dealt with equatorial rainforests. So let's continue with equatorial rainforests, and it's just a recap of the previous lesson. Now equatorial rainforest, it is on the equator, situated on the equator, and the weather there is very hot and humid, and there's a lot of rainfall, there's a lot of vegetation, and it is the areas there is DR Congo, that is located in Central Africa, and it is on both sides of the equator, so it is very hot and humid type of climate and a lot of rainfall. The mornings are pleasant and with bright sunshine, and there's heavy rain in the evening. Then about the vegetation, I had told you that there are very big trees and they grow to a very great height, and it is known as they form a canopy on top. And when they form a canopy on top, what happens is the sunshine doesn't reach the bottom of the forest. So it's literally very dark in the forest, and it is also sometimes called the heart of darkness. The DR Congo, or Democratic Republic of Congo, is also known as the heart of darkness. Now let's go on to the life of the people. On page 241, life of the people. Most of the country is thinly populated and concentrated along the Zaire River basin. So there are not much people living there in that region, but if there are any people, it is on the river basin, that is the river Zaire. About 80% of the people live in villages and follow the traditional way of life. So mostly the people are living in villages and they follow the traditional old style of living. The majority of the DR Congo people are the Bantu tribes who speak the Bantu language. So majority of these people are not dwelling in cities, they are living in villages, and they are known as the Bantu tribes, and they have their own language known as the Bantu language. In the dense forest live the Pygmies. So Pygmies is one race of people who live in the Congo areas, and they usually move from place to place in search of food and shelter. They are a primitive tribe who live a nomadic life and hunt for food. The primitive means they are a very old-fashioned tribe and they hunt for food. That means they kill animals for their food, and they are a nomadic tribe. That means they move from place to place in search of food. They don't have fixed houses or fixed buildings like we have, a fixed house, a permanent house. They are always on the move. Page 242. The people of DR Congo enjoy music and dance. The Yaka people of the southwest make beautiful carvings of ebony and mahogany wood. The people wear light cotton clothes because the climate is extremely hot and wet. So there's one group of people, the Yaka people, they make beautiful wood carvings out of ebony and mahogany. And the people wear light cotton clothes because it is having a very hot and humid climate. Now let's go to the agriculture. Now in the picture you see cassava. Cassava is something like, tapioca, the tapioca that we eat here. This is almost similar to the tapioca that we eat here. It is known as the cassava, and it's a root. A majority of the people of DR Congo are involved in agriculture. Corn, banana, tubers, groundnuts and cassava, a root which is dried and powdered to make bread, are grown. Cassava is the staple food of the people. Like rice is the staple food of the people here in India, cassava is the staple food of the people in the Congo. Rubber, coffee, cotton, tea and oil palm are grown mainly for export. So this weather condition there favors the growth of rubber and cotton and coffee and tea and oil palm, and these crops are grown mainly for export. Next, coming to the industry and trade. DR Congo is very rich in natural resources. Large quantities of copper and cobalt are mined. Zinc, tin, manganese, gold, silver, diamonds and iron ore are also found. Mining is the chief industry. So the chief industry there is mining. Like here we have industry making, clothes or making soap or oils or medicines. The main industry there is mining. River Zaire, which is the 5th longest river in the world, flows through DR Congo. So the country has plenty of water which is used to produce electricity. This electricity is also exported to neighboring countries. So the river Zaire is responsible for generating a lot of electricity, and this electricity is even given to the other neighboring countries. Page 243. Transport and communication. Major cities of DR Congo are connected by rail and road. Kinshasa is the capital of DR Congo. So Kinshasa is the capital city of DR Congo. It is an important river port and is connected with Matadi by rail. DR Congo also has a well-developed air transport system. So their air transport, that is airways, is also well developed. Water transport is an important means of transport. Matadi is the biggest seaport of DR Congo. It is a modern city and has a big railway terminal. Banana and Bona are two other important seaports. Kananga, Lumbashi and Kisangi are some important cities. With this, we come to the end of the lesson, Equatorial Rainforests.
The equatorial region is very thinly populated. The region is home to nomadic tribes such as the Pygmies of Congo, the Dayaks of Borneo, the Hulis of Papua New Guinea, and the Yanomamis of South America. The nomadic tribes have their unique traditional ways of living, mainly comprising of activities such as hunting, fishing, and gathering food. Other people residing in these regions are mainly dependent on the flora and fauna of the area. They practice plantation agriculture. Rubber, cocoa, sugarcane, bananas, cassava, and corn are some of the plants cultivated in this region. Mining is also an important occupation of people in this region. Deposits of minerals such as gold, copper, and diamond are found in equatorial countries, namely Malaysia and Singapore. The extraction of these minerals have made these countries prosperous.
Now please look at the exercises on page 244. Number A, fill in the blanks. The first one. The capital of DR Congo is Kinshasa. Kinshasa. 2. The Pygmies live in the dense forest. Pygmies. Pygmies. 3. River Zaire is the 5th longest river in the world. 5th. FIFTH. 4. There is little vegetation under a canopy of trees because of the lack of sunlight. SUNLIGHT. 5th one. Cassava is the staple food of the people of DR Congo. CASSAVA. Now coming to the questions, I will just give a rough discussion on the questions. Why is DR Congo called the heart of darkness? Now, because of the hot, humid climate and the heavy rainfall, there's a lot of trees growing in the forest. And these trees grow to a very great height and they form a blanket or a type of covering on top. That is also known as a canopy. Now, this canopy is so thick that it obstructs the sunlight from reaching the bottom of the forest. And so the bottom of the forest or the middle part of the forest, the entire forest is almost devoid of sunlight. There is no sunlight and it looks as though it is dark, and that is why it is called as heart of darkness. Who are Pygmies? Now the Pygmies are a nomadic tribe of the Congo and they are a primitive tribe and they hunt for their food. Name the 3 different types of forests. Now here you have the different type of forests coming to the tropical rainforests, and also you have the evergreen forest and the equatorial forest or the evergreen forest and the tropical rain forests. Next question. Describe the climate of DR Congo. Now, since this place lies on both sides of the equator, it has a hot, humid climate and there's a lot of rainfall. The mornings are pleasant, there is a bit of sunshine also, but towards evening there is a heavy rainfall. So this is the climate of DR Congo. Give two reasons why the DR Congo river basin is thickly populated. Now, there is a lot of people, or there is a lot of population living on the banks of the Zaire river, because there you have access to electricity and you have access to other industries and other type of activities. Whereas the other parts of the Congo is mostly under forest area. It is very difficult for transport and also for people to live and move around. So that is why the area near the river basin is thickly populated. Now coming to life skills. Forests are referred to as lungs of the world. List 3 uses of forests, suggest 3 ways of protecting forests. Now what happens in forests? They are called as lungs of the world. Now why is that? Because see, lungs are our breathing organs. We take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. Now the forests are the lungs for the world because they are always giving out oxygen, which we need for breathing. So that is why they are referred to as the lungs of the world. Now 3 uses of forests will be: 1. They are the homes for a lot of wildlife, animals and birds. Second, they are needed there because the more forests are there, the more greenery is there, there is more rainfall. It helps in the rainfall. And third one, you get a lot of food items or vegetables, crops and even wood from forests. Medicinal plants are there in the forest. The wood of ebony, mahogany, teak, sal, all these are used for furniture. So forests are useful to us in these 3 ways. Next one, values for life. The Silent Valley National Park in the Kundali Hills of Kerala is home to the endangered lion-tailed macaw. You can see the picture there. A rare monkey species of the Indian Equatorial Rainforests. What can be done to save this animal and increase its number? Now this monkey, lion-tailed monkey, is on the verge of extinction. That means they are slowly dying out. Their numbers are getting reduced. So what we can do is we can protect them, make that area a hunting free zone, or there should be no killing or no poaching of these animals. The government should take steps to give them treatment if they are sick, food at the particular time, and people should be there to look after these animals. And poaching or killing of these animals should never be allowed. So that's how we can help in protecting this particular species of monkeys. Next page, page 245. HOTS. Which of the following geographical areas does not have a rainforest? So that answer, and the second one, which layer of rainforest receives most light? These 2 will be for you to find out. You need to do some extra reading or from the text or from outside and find out the answer for HOTS question 1 and 2. Activity also on page 245. Find 10 words related to DR Congo in the activity grid. There's an activity grid and there are 10 words. I can tell you 2. One is tubers in the first line and cassava in the second line. The rest you need to find out and do it in your textbook. So your homework will be to do A, B in the notebook. The answers will be uploaded from the school, and find out the answers for HOTS 1 and 2 and complete the grid in the textbook on page 245. Thank you.